Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Unchained CEO, for another video. This video is about 5 ways to get unstuck in 2018. Happy New Year, everyone! Thanks again for tuning in to my channel. If it's the first time you've been here, I really appreciate it. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you'll never miss a video. And for those of you who've been following me since day one, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And as you can see, things have changed up a little bit. I made a promise to myself that moving forward into 2018, that I wanted to make these videos better. I wanted to add more value for you guys and really give you some solid tips on how to just get through whatever it is you're going through in terms of, or along this journey we call purpose. So today we're talking about how to get unstuck, and I've got 5 ways to do that. And I have my notes, so if I look down, that's what I'm looking at, because I will ramble. I will talk and talk and talk and talk, for those of you who know me. So I wanted to stay on track. And let me know in the comments if you're feeling this whole backdrop, because at the end of the day, these videos are for you. So if it's too busy or if it's too much, or you're just not liking it, let me know. And I have no problem changing that up. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, clarity, aka vision. It is so important. I list this as number 1 because if you don't know what it is you want, where you're trying to go, as the saying goes, any path will get you there, in a sense. Like, you could take any path and you'll get somewhere, but is that where you want to be? So you need to decide, you need to figure out, put everything aside for a moment and really hone in on the person you want to become, because that's so much more important than a title, like a job title. I think really honing in on the type of person that you want to become is far better than striving for CEO or, I don't know, manager, supervisor, all of these different titles that we put on ourselves. So being clear as to who you need to be or who you want to become is important. Like, for example, myself, I knew as I started this journey towards my purpose that I wanted to be a person that was self-disciplined. I've always wanted to be a person that acted within integrity. So because I know this, anything that I'm doing moving forward, I kind of go through this checklist of, okay, is this in line with the person that I'm trying to become? So when you can get clarity as to who you want to be, it's so much easier to go through this process, because no matter what comes your way, you'll be focused, laser vision, because you have a vision, right? So clarity would be my number 1. Number 2, rest. And when I say rest could mean a number of different things. So rest could mean actual physical rest, but the kind of rest I'm specifically talking about this time is that mental rest. Here's an example. You're running around, you're doing this job, that job, wearing all the different hats, trying to get everything accomplished, and you start feeling very overwhelmed or very frustrated. And sometimes it's over like little things that you just can't seem to quite get, or you constantly sabotage yourself by procrastinating on things that you know you need to get done. It's usually a sign that you need rest. So how do you take a mental break? The way I do it sometimes is when I decide that I'm gonna take like a few hours just to myself, or a day or whatever, I usually will put away my phone, or I won't overstimulate my mind with things like checking emails and going online, social media, or online shopping, or just all these things that are just because, remember, when you're online, your brain isn't only paying attention to the particular thing that you're paying attention to. There's ads here, there, everywhere. There's sounds from outside that you're paying attention to. There's a thought that you had about something that you wanted to do. It's all kinds of things. But sometimes we just need a moment to just take a break mentally from what we typically do on a regular basis. So if you're an entrepreneur or you're getting started in entrepreneurship, it's almost like taking a break in the sense of, if something's really frustrating you, and I find this helps me, I put it aside for a moment. I'm not saying don't do it, but I mean, if it's really overwhelming you, put it aside for a moment, because sometimes all your brain needs is a moment to regroup, relax, take your mind off of the problem you're trying to solve, and just like focus on something very simple and easy, and then come back to it. This was very hard for me because I'm the type of person where if there's a problem, I try to find a solution, and I continue figuring out the solution until the problem is solved. That would frustrate the heck out of me, and I'd feel overwhelmed. So this really helped me whenever I got to a place where I was feeling super frustrated over one particular thing. I put it down, stopped, walked away, did something else, took my mind completely off of it. And it's really been a huge help. So if it's not physical rest you need, sometimes it's a mental break. So try that. Number 3, gratitude. So especially for all of you doers out there, all you hustlers and go-getters and all of that, you're very much used to go, 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 and trying to achieve your goals and constantly setting the bar higher for yourself. I know because I do this. But it is so important that if you ever do feel stuck in a place where things may not be going the way you thought, maybe this year, maybe last year, you were thinking, by the time 2018 rolls around, I wanted to achieve this, that, and 2018's here, and things just don't seem to be going the way you wanted. They're not going in the direction you wanted. Everything seems to be falling apart. In those moments, the worst thing you can do is focus on everything that's falling apart or everything that's not working the way you wanted it to. The best thing you can do, and this literally takes 2-3 minutes. It's so easy, and it completely shifts your mindset and your energy, everything. I've tried this, and I'm telling you it works. And I'm not the only one that talks about gratitude as a way to deal with things like this. So when you're in that moment and all you're thinking about is everything that's going wrong, everything that's not working out, stop and think about all the things that are working. Go back and think about all the things you have accomplished so far. Remember how far you've actually come, because more often than not, we're stuck in that moment of doing now and focusing on the future, that when things get a little tricky, we're still stuck there and we don't remember how far we actually came from. What I'll do sometimes is in the morning, I'll get up, and as I'm like brushing my teeth or whatever, I'll be literally standing in the mirror and talking to myself. Granted, I don't need a mirror to do that. I do that all the time. But I'll stand in the mirror and I'll talk to myself and I'll say, you know what? Last year this time, this stuff wasn't going on. This stuff wasn't. You were doing this. You're doing so many amazing things this year versus last year. Last year, this stuff was just a thought, you know? You went out on your own, you took that trip, you did this, like any little thing that you did accomplish, speak on it. And I tell you, as you're talking about it, your energy feels better, you feel happier, because now your brain's really focusing on all the things that you have accomplished and how far you've come. And when you then tackle that problem or that issue you're having from a place of gratitude, it's so much better. It's so much better. So try that one out. Tip number 4. Focus inward. So what do I mean by focus inward? So many things are online. We are bombarded every second of the day by somebody online getting married, having kids, getting engaged. Oh, there was a proposal. Oh, they started a business. Oh, they bought a new house. Oh, they bought a car. And all of these things that are happening, these great things that are happening to other people, use that as motivation. Be happy for them, be joyful for them, and just think to yourself, you know what? They probably worked really hard and they got there. I'm working hard and I'll get there too. But as you're noticing all of these things, all these amazing things that are happening in other people's lives, try really hard, and it can be difficult because there's so much of it on social media. Really try to focus on this inside of you, your potential, what you have going for yourself. Because if you focus on all the things that other people are accomplishing, sometimes, depending on your mindset, you'll get to a place where you start comparing yourself to these people. And now you're comparing your chapter 3 to somebody else's chapter 15. And then you start with the negative self-talk and saying, well, you know, how come they can have this and I can, and I've been working so hard, and how come they have that, and all of these different things. And when you focus on what other people have versus what you don't have, it's a terrible place to work from, because now all of your efforts, instead of you trying to do what's best for you and become a better person, you're now trying to keep up with the Joneses or whoever else there is to keep up with, right? So instead of doing that, focus inward. So be happy for those people. Feel good that they're able to achieve great success, and let that motivate you and show you that if they can do it, you can do it. But always stay focused on what you're doing, because it's so much better that way. When you start working from a place of trying to keep up with everybody, you start doing things that you never actually really wanted to do just because you need to put up this like facade or this front like you're doing big things. You don't have to pretend like you're doing big things. Those things will come in time, right? You don't want to get to a place where now you've worked so hard and you've done all these things and you're looking around and thinking, wait a minute, I don't even like it here. I didn't even want this. Why did I do this in the first place? And then you look back and you realize you were only doing it because you wanted other people to feel like or think that you were doing big things, and you thought that the things that you were doing weren't big enough. So don't focus from that place. Focus inward as opposed to outward. All I can say about this last one is I have the hardest time with it, and I work on it every single day. Stop multitasking. And let me be clear about what I mean. Women, we are naturally good at doing many things at the same time. So when I say stop multitasking, I don't mean if you're cooking a meal, you can't talk on the phone at the same time, or if you're washing dishes or doing laundry, you can't be listening to an audiobook or whatever. What I mean is, if there's a particular task that's really important and you know it takes a lot of mental energy and focus, don't try to do that and find something online or plan your next vacation or buy those pair of shoes you've been looking for.